So hi, I'm Kiki and I am 36 years old and this is
Sophie.
And how old are you, Sophie?
5.
And Sophie is my niece, but almost like a daughter to me. So my diagnosis was very quick. I had a cough and went to the doctor and spiralled out to having my lungs drained and then being diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So very overwhelming, very challenging, lots of shock, and very unprepared of how I was going to get through my cancer journey. We come from a very close family, 3 generations of cancer. So my grandmother had breast cancer, my mum had lung cancer. So as a family, we decided that we wanted to communicate it in the right way for Sophie, for a number of reasons, because I was also getting married 2 months after I was diagnosed. And so when it came to us deciding how we were going to communicate it to Sophie, we agreed as a family, my dad, sister and my husband to be, that we would be very honest with Sophie about me losing my hair, about the fact that I was going to be in hospital, the fact that I was going to be experiencing lots of different challenges.
I'm Eleni, I'm Kiki's sister and I'm 31 years old and I'm mum to Sophie. So I think along the journey, for me it was quite hard to see my sister go through this, but also have Sophie be a part of this, because I was almost 2 years older than Sophie when my mum passed away from cancer. When it was finalised that Kiki did have lymphoma, I just explained to Sophie, that Titi had an owie, and I told her where it was, and I showed her, and we actually looked in her book that she's got, all about her body. So showed her on there, and I just talked about, that she's in hospital, and just discussed like she's going to have treatment for a very long time, lots of medicine, she's going to lose her hair, and just kind of ran through, the kind of steps, what to expect.
I feel sad.
Why did you feel sad?
Because I had no hair.
I know. What else?
It made me feel that Titi wasn't going to get better.
But what did you think when I was getting better?
I thought that I was going to be happy.
And how are you now?
So happy.
So happy. Certainly for the first 2 weeks of chemo, Eleni and Sophie would come and visit me in the morning to give me my steroid tablets and give me all the medication. It was some holidays, so they'd come, they would give the medicine, we would have some breakfast together, we would sit on my bed, we would joke, we would talk about the plans that they had for the day. They'd be doing lots of fun things, and I'd be in bed, and then they'd come and check on me regularly throughout the day. And we just made sure that there was connected family time where possible.
I think Sophie did ask me, a few times, would Titi die? Which was hard because I think, I had to be a mom, but I also had, and be brave, but it was very hard because my sister was obviously going through all of this. I tried not to focus on that and concentrate on that, even though I used to question myself. So it was very hard. It was something that when the question was asked, I kind of to avoid it and just try and be positive, that the treatment's going to work, and praying and doing different things, to try and get through the situation. So when Sophie was with us actually for the last treatment, she had come with us for radiotherapy that day, but we waited in the waiting room. So she said to me, is Titi all better now? And I just said, no, the medicine will still take a few months. And that was very hard because even, you know, January and February, although there was no treatment, Kiki still wasn't 100% well.
Yeah, I guess we were quite mindful because so many things come up in the journey. There was talk of me having a bone marrow transplant, more treatment, and although I am in remission now, it still doesn't mean everything's going to be 100% okay. I've got checks coming up, etc. All of that to all still deal with. But I guess we communicated that my hair was going to start to grow back, and I was going to be able to start doing things again. I was going to be able to go on holiday, and again being positive that I wasn't going to have to be in hospital all the time like how I had been.
You're not going to be able to put a brave face on forever throughout the journey, maybe in the beginning, but it is hard, you know, and I think honesty is just the best way. That's my best advice I can give, really, because then, you know, children are aware of your feelings, and Sophie was very aware, you know, when I was sad or when I was angry, you know, that it was to do with the sickness, it wasn't to do with anything else. So I think definitely honesty.
And I'd say is to just take each step as it comes, regardless of what your outcome is going to be or regardless of where you are right now, because so many things can change in the journey. But I agree with Eleni, be honest in the situation and make it work with how you communicate as a family, and agree it together of what you're going to do so that everybody's in agreement and you're working together as a team, because that's what you need when you're in that zone and you're in that struggle, is everybody working together, supporting in their own way, because everybody will support in different ways. And Sophie supported me in so many different ways, being a child, because she was very childlike. So by you sharing and being honest with the child can also help comfort you in so many different ways that you least expect. So that's our advice, I'd probably say, from us.